It is 8:33. Well, we all know self-isolating helps reduce the spread of COVID-19. But for many survivors of domestic abuse, staying at home is not a safe option. As Ashley Burr has found, one organization says they are starting to get calls from children on behalf of their mothers.
It's supposed to be the safest place for a person to be. But for someone in an abusive relationship, isolating at home is a nightmare.
Prior to COVID-19, a busy day, we might get from 30 to 50. We're getting more than 100 calls now.
The Battered Women's Support Services, or BWSS, which helps women across the province, has been overwhelmed with calls for the past few weeks. They've now launched a 24/7 crisis line and released a list of ways COVID-19 uniquely impacts women experiencing violence, including abusive partners possibly withholding insurance cards, sharing misinformation about the pandemic to control or frighten their partner, and withholding necessary items like hand sanitizer or disinfectants.
The abusive partner isn't going to work, maybe she's not going to work. There isn't the break that you would get in a day that would then give some reprieve and that would be able to either get services or connect.
Calls aren't just coming in from women who are being abused. McDougall says she was surprised that children and youth are now also starting to pick up the phone.
That's new for us, and we've gotten a few of those calls where they're they just want to figure out what options there are. They obviously they are concerned for the safety of their mother. They're concerned for their own safety and the safety of their siblings.
The difficulty right now is getting people away from abusive relationships during a pandemic. Typically, BWSS connects women to transition homes, but those are quickly filling up. On Friday, McDougall had the idea of connecting with a local Lower Mainland hotel chain to see if they could possibly open up their doors.
I text right away. It's our contact's a woman. I text her right away. We had a conversation right away, and she said, absolutely, 100%. Don't worry, whatever you need. And then she said she reached out to some other hotel owners, and they're like, absolutely, whatever you need. So that was beautiful.
We are not releasing the name of the hotel to keep the whereabouts of women escaping abusive relationships safe. If you or someone you know needs help, you can call the crisis line at 1-855-687-1868 or text 604-652-1867. In New Westminster, Ashley Burr, City News.
Thank you so much, Ashley. All right, 5 airlines are at the center of a lawsuit that could involve tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of Canadians. They want to be reimbursed for COVID-19 cancellations. Airlines gave out vouchers to passengers whose flights were affected. A group of lawyers in Montreal argues they should be refunded. To take part in the class action, passengers must have purchased their ticket before March 11th for a flight to be taken after March 13th. The lawsuit names Air Canada, WestJet, Swoop, Air Transat, and Sunwing. In the U.S., the COVID-19 death toll has hit 5,100 and more than 216,000 cases. The hardest hit area remains New York. Statewide, the number of deaths doubled in the last 72 hours, reaching 1,900. U.S. President Donald Trump admits the federal stockpile of personal protective equipment for health workers is dangerously low. Other areas of urgent concern include New Orleans and parts of Southern California. Trump says he's considering a temporary ban on domestic flights between COVID hotspots.
Closing up every single flight on every single airline, that's a very, very, very rough decision. But we are thinking about hotspots where you go from spot to spot, both hot. And we'll let you know fairly soon.
Trump says he's also looking at reducing train travel, and in fact, all forms of travel are being re-examined. Well, just days ago, Florida's governor said COVID-19 was not a serious problem because it had not spread to all parts of his state. Now he's issued a stay-at-home order.
I'm going to be doing an executive order today directing all Floridians to limit movements and personal interactions outside the home.
Images of spring break revelers horrified people when they surfaced online, and some shocking news from Texas, where a group of students had chartered a plane to Mexico for spring break celebrations. Despite warnings from health officials, they're all home now. 44 of 70 who went on that trip have tested positive for COVID-19. Well, you won't be able to go to the movies anytime soon. Cineplex will keep its doors closed for the foreseeable future. The company had originally planned to reopen its 165 theaters today. Cineplex is also dealing with a number of other factors. Hollywood studios recently bumped many of this year's most anticipated films, including Ghostbusters and Black Widow, to later release dates. Well, one of Vancouver's independent theaters is putting the show on the road, literally, by offering curbside pickup for popcorn. Miranda Fatour has this story.
If you want popcorn, the Dunbar Theatre has the best popcorn in the world. We won a contest.
Vancouver's Dunbar Theatre has set the stage for local businesses looking to get creative during the COVID-19 pandemic by opening up a drive-through for popcorn.
Sitting at home and just watching TV programs is a lot different than going out, buying popcorn, and making a movie event at home enjoyable.
Charco says despite shutting down the theatre, he's keeping the snacks and pops flowing to maintain some degree of normalcy while people are at home social distancing. Orders can be placed from 4 till 9 p.m. on weekdays and 2 till 9:30 on weekends.
We have great employees here that have been with us for 5, 10, even 20 years, and they're the ones that are doing it. We're making sure that we do this in a safe, responsible manner. As you can see, we're 3 meters away. We're only taking debit or via tap or credit by that. And mostly what we're doing is we have a loading zone right in front of the theater where people stop, call or honk, and we do delivery service, so we don't even come close to them, so it's good.
The theater is also planning on offering home showings of new releases in the future to continue generating revenue. An online fundraiser has also been launched.
We're definitely going to lose money, but we're going to keep a lot of students, a lot of long-term employees here employed as long as they want, for as many hours as they want, as long as we get the great support that we have of Vancouver.
While the federal government has announced a 75% wage subsidy for qualifying businesses, and the province has announced a suspension of current and future evictions during the pandemic, Charco says that's not quite enough.
And what I'm suggesting to the government, if a landlord gets the benefit of being able to defer their mortgage payments, that should be conditionary upon them allowing the renter to be able to defer them as well.
Charco says it's important to ensure independent theaters stay afloat because they're good for both the economy and the community.
When people come here to my theater or to the Rio Theater or to the Hollywood Theater when that opens up, which I'm excited about, people go and meet people. You can live 2-3 doors down from someone in this neighborhood and not say hi to them until you see them in the theater.
So next time you're craving a movie marathon, pop by the Dunbar to complete your home theater experience. In Vancouver, Miranda Fatour, City News.
All right, got to support these local businesses. Russ, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. That's my old hood, Mary. When I went to UBC all those years ago, I don't want to date myself, but yeah, many nights at the Dunbar Theatre. It is it's a neighborhood institution. It really is. So we got to support those kinds of businesses at a time like this.